So, a visitor in the land of the East. You do realize Asma is fraught with danger. Mountains and rivers, the source of their great power. Land shaped to their will. Yes, I speak of Kemono, rampant in these parts. Few humans remain, driven from what is now Kemono territory for lack of sustenance. Ha ha ha. Listen to me preaching to Buddha. For one look at you speaks volumes. The gauntlets that back your hands, the blade at your side. You are no stranger to Kemono. You derive from an ancient clan, one that made Kemono its business. You are a hunter, huh? Yes, the epitome of the hunter creed you are. And what am I, you ask? Aha, simple musician, of course. My name is Musina, shall we say? You overestimate me. I am but a silhouette, present and absent in the same moment. Confuse me not with those of substance and power. Still, we are here to talk not of me, but of you. I wish to know every detail. From whence did you arrive in this land? Life in the capital is hard for a hunter, hmm? The samurai make war there, I hear. Sadly, the days of hunters being revered in Hinomoto are long gone. To the west, samurai battle not Kemono, but each other. Hunters facing hunger these days are many. Some have turned their hands to farming, others to thieving. Always? Born a drifter, then? Come now. You have lived with others, worked with others, shown as a fine hunter among others. So you leave your home and travel to Azuma by yourself, yet pursue a life as a hunter still. Why? What compels you to hunt? A riddle almost Zen-like. But be warned. Many who seek such an answer find quietus before clarity. Are you one of the many? Or the few? Ha! Forgive me. With age, a curious compulsion to counsel comes. Well, it is clear to me now. You have a strong will. And where there is a will, there is a way. Your goals may yet change. Recall as you journey on. A hunter yields not. Yes, Azuma may well be the place for you. Anyway, enough of this lengthy commerce. Your Nabepot has had ample time to stew. I will disturb you no more. You have a hunger to satisfy. Tell me, do you have a destination in mind? Or might I offer a suggestion? East of the sacred mountain here, beyond the old blossom trail known as the Harugasumi Way, lies Minato, a small town where the few hunters that remain in Hinomoto gather. With its inhabitants, you may perhaps share. Ah, it draws near. You recognize the signs, of course. The land consumed by the territorial craving of the Kemono. Before long, you will be trapped. A lone hunter, frozen solid in a natural ice house. Aha. Spoken like a true hunter. Do you feel it? The quarry is close. This will be the measure of your mettle. Wanting still. Yet a thread of hope remains, perhaps. Let it weave this seed into your soul. Let the spirits in the Karakuri join your own. Let them drive you to hunt. For that is your destiny. Find Minato. Find the home of the hunters. Only there will your journey truly begin.
You're a hunter? You must have saved me. How can I possibly repay you? I'd be dead by now if it wasn't for you. Sorry, I'm Natsume, a blacksmith from Minato, the small town just beyond here. I came to collect materials, but I must have been knocked out when that kemono attacked. That's the last I remember. Oh, really? I'd be glad to show you the way in that case, only... Well, a single look saves 100 questions, as they say. Come with me. There was a bridge there, you see? Linking the Harugasumi Way here to the other side. That's where Minato is. It must have collapsed with that big tremor before. I suppose it was the tremor that scared the kemono and made it jump out in front of us. Oh! This is bad. I have to find Ujishige-san. Yes, that's right. He only came with me because I insisted. If the worst has happened, Wait. You're a hunter, though. So presumably you earn a living taking on hunting missions? Would you track down Ujishige-san for me? I'll do what I can to help as well, of course. Arigato! I won't forget this. It was a Kohakunushi that attacked us. The Minato hunters call them Sap Scourge. They're always causing trouble. You'll need a decent weapon to take it on. But I might be able to help with that. We blacksmiths can't fight kemono, but give me a workbench and I'll hone any weapon you can throw at me. Sugoi. Right. Now I have an anvil, I can make myself useful. Luckily, the tools I brought with me weren't damaged, so all I need is materials, and then I should be able to make you a bow and arrow or sword or something. Probably not quite what you're used to, but I'm sure I can come up with something that suits. Could I maybe have a look at that karakuri katana of yours? I'd love to dismantle it and find out exactly how it works. Don't worry, I don't mean right now. First, we have to find Ujishige-san and a way back to Minato. Let's talk about it then. The Sap Scourge tend to take any prey they catch back to their nests. That would be the first place to look for Ujishige-san. If you can get the kemono on the run, it should lead you back there. Of course, that means you'll have to get the better of it in battle first. Is that something you're ready to do? You're very confident. That's reassuring. Meeting you really was a stroke of luck. Still, it may be worth holding off a little while to hunt for some more kemono materials first. With materials, I can make stronger equipment. If you think my smithing skills could help, don't hesitate to ask. I feel awful making Ujishige-san wait, but I want you to have the best chance of saving him.
I owe you. If you hadn't shown up, there'd be a handsome statue of me in amber here by now.
The karakuri you were using seemed interesting.
Not like anything I've seen before.
Who exactly are you?
Not a regular hunter, that's for sure.
How do you know my...
Ah, soka. Natsume must have roped you into doing her dirty work for her. She managed to get away then. Good. And yes, I am Daidoji Ujishige, Minato's most revered veteran. So where's the young blacksmith now? Whoa, you made camp, did you? In that case, lead the way. Much as I like the idea of a statue in my honor, I don't want to give the kemono another chance to make it.
Ujishige-san! You're alive! Thank you so much for bringing him back.
Yeah, you lick this hunter's boots. I didn't want to come along in the first place. I certainly wasn't expecting to pay for the sake with my life. You're damn lucky you happened upon such a skilled hunter who was willing to help you out. Otherwise, as I said to my new best friend here, I'd be preserved in amber right now, exposed for all to see.
You paint a grim picture, Uchishige-san. It really was fortunate. You're right.
Did you see this one in battle? Excellent form, and the Karakuri master too.
I know. Creating karakuri out of thin air like that? That's a skill I simply have to learn.
Well, the Karakuri lessons will have to wait. I'd like to get back to Minato before any more kemono take an unhealthy liking to me.
I'd love to get back too, but unfortunately, the bridge has collapsed.
What?
People will realize something is wrong soon enough and come to repair the bridge, I'm sure. But it probably won't be for a while.
And in the meantime, we're stuck out here, are we?
A karakuri? How would we... You're thinking of a flying vine, are you? I know the hunters of Minato used to use them.
A flying vine? What are you talking about? Explain it in words an old samurai would understand.
Well, it might be possible to show you, I think.
Sman. You think you can show me some food first, maybe?
You probably haven't eaten a thing since we were attacked, have you? I know I haven't. Oh no, we couldn't possibly ask you to do that. You've already done so much.
Oh, come on, Natsume. Don't tell me you're not ravenous, too. If the hunter's happy to cook, we should be happy to eat. And it just so happens I have some ingredients with me. So, chef, want to get to work before these rumblings get any louder? All right now. I've had a bellyful. That wasn't a bad meal, Chief. Sate. Let's not linger here any longer. Time for that karakuri you mentioned that was going to get us home. And once we are safely back in town, there'll be a cup of sake with your name on it.
It was just what we all needed. Now, what can I do to help? Although smithing is about all I...
What the hell was that?
It came from over Minato way. I'll go with you. I want to see what's happening with my own eyes.
Have you lost your mind? That roar clearly came out of something big. It's too dangerous.
Minato may be threatened, Uchishige-san. And anyway, I'll have this able hunter with me. I'll be alright.
Even so, you can't... I'm wasting my breath, aren't I? Fine. I'll wait here. But if a kemono shows, I'll be easy prey.
This is bad. I'm sure I don't need to tell a hunter this, but powerful kemono like that Yamaugachi can influence the natural environment around them. So that's what they do, as far as I can tell. Alter their habitat to make it suit them better. And stake out more and more territory, basically. Sometimes they clash with each other in the process, which is fine, except when whole towns are overrun with plants or snow covers summer pastures. So if we let that King Tusk think this is its patch, it could make the forest engulf Minato and leave us homeless. Alone? Do you really think you could? I can see you're a very skilled hunter, but... well... no. I suppose it's the only option. If you fight it, I'll do everything I can to back you up. Arigatou gozaimasu. If you need weapons, armor, anything at all, just let me know. But please don't do anything you're not comfortable with. Don't put yourself in danger. It's all rotting away. The surrounding nature bent to its will. I can't quite believe what I just saw.
Neither can I. You really gave the thing hell. Seems I underestimated you.
Well, we're in the clear for now. So let's get that flying vine going and head back to Minato.
Well, we made it in the end.
I was starting to think we'd never see it again. But here we are. This is Minato.
Oh. So? Starting to feel at home yet? Really? Well, good for you then. Going out tatting for business again today? Looks like you are settling in nicely. Tucker, with you doing the work of 2 or 3 men, the only job left for me is keeping my sake cup filled. Oh, quick! Looks like it's over. That was another big one. Feels like they're getting stronger every day. It's making the bridge repairs on the old Blossom Trail impossible, apparently. Not that it matters to you with all your karakuri trickery. Ah, I nearly forgot. You should drop in on the Hime-sama later. Our steward was asking for you before.
Your daily labors have not escaped my attention. You are a great asset to Minato. Ours is the only remaining settlement here in Azuma, once known for its fierce Bando warriors, who prevailed during the rule of the Ishido clan. With the demise of the Ishido governors, the region fell under the control of the Ago clan, but they see it as a worthless backwater. By appointing me as its steward, they neatly rid themselves of a great embarrassment to the clan. Their hope is that Minato and I both will simply vanish into obscurity. But arts and crafts made from kimono materials are still highly prized in the capital, though few are being made these days. Until your arrival, we had no hunters left capable of dealing with kimono as fearsome as the King Tusk. Thanks to you, I sense the spirit of the town starting to revive. I am extremely grateful. Arigato. Speaking of the spirit of the town, you will have seen the windmill-like structure at the heart of Minato. The citizens call it the Spirit Wheel. I know nothing of the workings of Karakuri, so I have no idea how it could be made to turn again as I believe it once did. But it is my earnest wish to see it too, one day revived, turning proudly and purposefully above the town, as people prosper in the streets below. If only my hollow stewardship allowed me some small degree of influence. Forgive me, I digress. I summoned you to ask for your help. The capital is crying out for new handicrafts. With your skills at our disposal, I believe we may be able to oblige. They will require materials that can only be obtained from the Tsunobashiri, a glider kimono found on Natsugodachi Isle. I request that you hunt one. For some time, the hunters here have taken no prey beyond the Harigasumi Way, and the materials are all delivered to Suzuran-sensei for her studies. You may reach the isle by boat. Speak with the head of the Guild of Fishermen, Sumori Nobumitsu. I do apologize for asking so much of you, but this hunt would prove most valuable to the town. There is no great urgency, however. I understand you have many demands on your time. So many citizens are clamoring for your skills. It is my earnest wish that you oblige them also. In doing so, you afford Minato great strength.
Ah, you hunted a Tsunobashiri for us, did you? Those spine gliders are tough. We owe you one. Arigato. You're clearly well able to do your job then. But how are you holding up? No strange sensations? Excellent. That's good to hear. You must tell me at once if you notice anything out of the ordinary. Having a karakuri implanted in your body may have consequences you're not expecting. The seed is a very old karakuri, the crystallization of wisdom amassed by the ancient hunters. It will make a deep physiological and mental connection with you. It allows its host to conjure and control karakuri, to influence the ki that flows through the entire natural world. In fact, until now, I honestly believed it was a fairy tale. I certainly never imagined that I'd see it with my own eyes. Side effects? Well, there are certainly pitfalls. Firstly, I don't believe you can manipulate karakuri wherever and whenever you like. You've experienced that already, of course. You haven't been able to make use of karakuri here in Minato, for example, have you? Secondly, although the seed is said to contain the ingredients for a plethora of karakuri, it would appear you can't conjure them all whenever you like. I imagine there has to be some sort of trigger to stimulate the requisite memory. Given that it's a hunter's device, it seems reasonable to assume that those triggers will occur in the course of hunting activities. And thirdly, I dare say this is the most pertinent of the pitfalls from your perspective. The seed is deeply embedded in your heart. So deeply that one can no longer function without the other. What I'm trying to say is that if that tiny karakuri were to break, you would die. Now, it's not especially fragile, so there's no need to panic, but still, I would treat it with due care. Good. Yes, before you go, there's one last thing. There's a small task I'd like you to undertake. Or rather, the town elders have decided it should be done. It may even result in the first pitfall that I mentioned before being rendered moot. I think it would be quicker to show you rather than trying to explain further. Would you accompany me to the Spirit Isle? We can leave whenever you're ready. And Natsume will be coming along too. I forgot how much I hate boats.
Are you alright, Sensei? You did say you'd explain what we're doing here when we'd arrived.
I'll be fine. So, there is an old ruin on the island here, where the natural flow of ki has stagnated. I need you to clear the blockage. I think... You said you tried it before, didn't you? In the Nanohana field along the old Blossom Trail. I'd like you to do the same thing here. I learned that a particular material is required for the job, and through meticulous research, I've managed to ascertain which kemono to hunt to obtain it. It's a kemono called Jigokuzaru, or lava back.
As far as we know, it's lived on this island since ancient times. Apparently, Minato's hunters have never been a match for it.
Your confidence is reassuring, but I don't want you taking any unnecessary risks. If it seems too much for you, return to Minato and reconsider your approach.
I hear that the lavaback lives on the north side, but there are other kemono on the island too. Perhaps hunting some of those first would be a good plan. Then I can make you stronger equipment with the materials.
Let's hope this really does help Minato flourish again.
Sensei?
Sorry, I was muttering to myself. Oh yes, I nearly forgot. I've taken the liberty of adding a rather special karakuri to your gauntlet. I have a matching one, and together they'll allow us to communicate when we're too far away to speak to each other. It'll all become clear once you use it. We'll contact you in a little while, so don't be surprised if you suddenly hear our voices.
Well, well. Again we meet. It seems you have a knack for cheating death. As a hunter, I see you have grown. The fire in your eyes burns stronger now. Fitting that our paths cross here, in the sacred land of the ancient hunters. Traces of their aspirations remain, both within you and without. Once it was so that hunters were born here, raised here, and would die on this soil. But in time, they expanded their horizons, crossing the sea to Azuma. But that migration was only possible with the power of Karakuri. With the knowledge and technology possessed only by those hunters of old. Sadly, all that was no longer is. The haven the hunters built for themselves in Azuma was washed away, by the rain of 1,000 days. A great flood that covered all the land. What few hunters survived dispersed northward or westward, taking with them what little knowledge remained of Karakuri. All that was left behind crystallized to become the seed. So you see, all that was left behind now exists within you. You need only hunt, and trust that in so doing, the seed will soon grow.
Over there, look! Oi!
Sorry to keep you. Your successful defeat of the kimono means we can proceed with the... Oh, what's wrong? Are you sure? You look like you've just seen a ghost. Anyway, never mind. Let's get on with the plan. You remember we discussed how you're enabled to conjure and command Karakuri anywhere you like? Well, the reason for that is intimately tied to a form of energy known as celestial thread. Think about when you create Karakuri out of nothing. Tendril-like phenomena appear, don't they? That is celestial thread. It's the motive force behind all Karakuri. If there isn't enough of it, Karakuri can't operate. The larger and more complex the Karakuri, the more celestial thread is required to power it. You've probably noticed already as you've been walking around that these ruins appear to be some kind of giant Karakuri. We can only imagine that at one time it was functioning as intended until, for some reason, the celestial thread here dried up and it ground to a halt.
For some reason. Due to stagnation of ki in the ground, perhaps?
Precisely. Ki and celestial thread are essentially the same thing. The ki here is not flowing. Fix that, and these ruins should come alive. Legend tells that this place is actually an elaborate machine used to divert celestial thread to another location. And I'm sure by now you can deduce what location that is. Yes! Minato! Which means that if we're successful here, all the Karakuri that have been gathering dust in Minato until now should suddenly spring to life!
I was starting to think I'd never see them working again. It's been so long.
What we're trying to achieve here is crucial to the survival of the town. The influence of the kimono is growing all the time, and we have no way to defend ourselves. Sooner or later, we'll be forced to abandon Minato. So after many long discussions among the elders, they decided we should work towards restoring the town's Karakuri to give us the means to fight back. Which is why your task here is to use your skills to wake up this ancient place.
Amazing, amazing, amazing! I never dreamed this could happen! Everything is working again! It's like life has been restored to the whole town. Every Karakuri is working again. Oh, then the Karakuri at the forge will be... This I have to see!
Well, Natsume's happy. To be honest, there are dozens of things I'd like to experiment with, too. And if you wouldn't mind, I'll be needing your help with many of them.
Sumimasen. I just can't stop watching. It's so fascinating. This Karakuri can maintain a higher temperature in the hearth. That would mean I could forge various materials I couldn't forge before. So I'll be much more used to you now. To everyone in Minato, in fact. The times I've tried and failed to get all the things in this forge working again. Most of this equipment has been gathering dust, but now it's had a new lease on life. Minato could thrive again, like in the old days. And it's all come about thanks to you. I honestly don't know how to express my gratitude. Nothing I could say would be enough. Just, arigato. Thank you so, so much. Let's leave it there for today, shall we? Another one? They're getting very frequent lately. Is it asleep?
Really? Interesting.
It was like a moving mountain. Honestly, I've never seen such a huge and terrifying kimono.
It reminds me of something I read in the records from centuries ago. A giant kimono ripped across the land. The castle, the town, the people, all were swallowed in rock. If this is the same creature, it would explain the frequent tremors we've been experiencing recently. Even the strange behavior we observed in the other kimono could be traced back to this giant.
All my life I've lived in Minato, and I had no idea such a kimono lived so close.
Well, kimono only stray outside of their territory in exceptional circumstances, and they rarely show themselves to us. Remember, all kimono, no matter how big or small, are sustained by the same energy, celestial thread. And since celestial thread is ubiquitous, they have no need to wander in search of it.
But then, why has this kimono... Could it be because there's no thread left in its territory, perhaps?
Yes, that's my hypothesis too. I believe our giant is hungry, due to some great change in the flow of thread in its environment. Now, we recently flooded our town with celestial thread by restoring the karakuri on the Spirit Island. So, unfortunately, we've made Minato look rather appetizing.
But that's terrible. That means this kimono is going to expand its territory this way and swallow us up.
I wish I could fault your logic, and I'm afraid we can't reverse what we've done. I had a nagging feeling that something might go wrong, but not this wrong. If only I had investigated the possible outcomes more thoroughly.
No one's to blame. None of us could have anticipated this. We didn't know anything. Wait. Didn't you say you'd encountered this bear once before? Heading from the sacred mountain towards Minato?
Oh. So that means it comes from a habitat to the north. And you're saying it was on the move even before our work at the ruins? But no, we don't have time to be pondering the cause. We must decide how to act, and quickly. Are you serious? I realize your hunting skills are exceptional, but no single person could dispatch a beast of that size. Even if everyone in town pulled together, the best we could hope to do is give it a nasty surprise to begin with before... No, come on, Suzuran. You owe it to Minato to fix this. Think now. Going along the Harugasumi Way, its enormous bulk will mean it has to descend into the river. If we can position Karakuri along the bluff, we might be able to defeat it before it hits the town. I think that's the only workable strategy at this point. I'll talk to the elders about preparing the necessary Karakuri. What I need you to do is buy us some time. Without a chance to prepare, I'm afraid we're doomed.
I wonder if I could... Sorry, I need to go and test something. Meet me later at the forge.
It's going to take all we've got to overcome this threat. The town needs your help now more than ever.
Sorry to run off in the middle of a conversation like that, but I had an idea that couldn't wait. I'll come straight to the point. I need some kimono materials, and I need them fast. I started playing around with some new innovations after all the karakuri came back to life, you see. And I think I might have come up with a weapon we can use to fight that giant kimono. It's clearly a rock kimono of some kind, isn't it? Did you notice how its body was covered in deep crevices? And how kocho were fluttering around those parts? In the same sort of way that they swarm over the corpses of kimono, or their wounds. Well, if those crevices are wounds too, they could be weak points. And with my new weapon, we could target them from the ground. Which is why I really need those materials. I'm basically after a large quantity of iron sand. More than we have time to dig out of the ground, though. But I've remembered that Nobu mentioned a rumor about a kimono that scatters iron sand. I'm sorry to be asking yet another favor, but do you think you could help?
It's on the move!
Well, the cannon is ready for action. I just hope it holds out. It's never seen a battle like this before. I wish that kimono would leave us alone. But it's too late for wishes now. Good luck.
This is it! Yosh! Clear the decks! Buy us the time we need. I know you can do it.
work! Nothing! Run! Take cover!
What an extraordinary feast!
We're out of options. You're not serious.
Is it?
Did we win? Oi! Oi! Everyone! We won! We won!
Now please let that be the end of it.
Perhaps I underestimated you.
As an outsider, some people were a little wary of you before, but everyone will have to accept you now. Trust me, most of us in Minato welcome people from elsewhere with an open mind. After all, most of the town's residents were outsiders once upon a time. In ancient times, there were lots of hunters living across Azuma, and they all helped each other out. Then later, when the samurai rulers gained power, this area became a province overseen by a Shugo governor. The samurai slowly pushed hunters further east until they were left with nowhere to go but Minato, here on the eastern edge of the region. Generations of hunters have lived here, mixing with others who fled to Minato to escape difficult lives under the samurai. And now you've arrived, with your amazing ability to conjure and control karakuri. Perhaps you're the person Minato has been waiting for, come to rescue us from our plight. Maybe this is your true purpose as a hunter even. Sorry, that was presumptuous of me. But it would make me very happy to think you're starting to feel a fondness for Minato. fire liberates the soul, the beast's spirit will return to the heavens and rest until it's reborn in a new body. It's one of Minato's oldest rites.
It's a load of old hokum. Forget the next life. There's enough to worry about in this one. Isn't that right, Chief? Is that?
The bird of auspice! It's flying so close. It can only be a good omen for our town. Minato will prosper like you once did. Even more, perhaps.